There was a time when almost everyone on the internet knew one name for video calls and online chatting: Skype. It was simple, fast, and used everywhere. People used it to talk to friends, call family in other countries, and even handle work meetings long before apps like Zoom or Discord became popular. At its peak, Skype felt like the future of communication. But today, it is barely mentioned by many users. So what really happened? How did something so big slowly fade away? Was it the world that changed? Or was it Skype that failed to keep up? And how does a global giant disappear so quietly? To understand this story, we need to go back to the early days of the internet and see how everything started. If you enjoy deep tech stories like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Collapse Files for more untold digital histories. The early internet world, before Skype, online communication was very limited and simple. In the 1990s and early 2000s, people mostly used basic tools like email, text chat rooms, early messaging apps, and regular phone calls. Video calling existed in idea form, but in real life it was rare, slow, and often unstable. Internet speeds were low, and many people still used dial-up or early broadband connections, which made smooth video communication very difficult. Even though the idea of seeing someone while talking had been around for a long time, it was not something everyday users could easily do. But technology was improving step by step, and people slowly started to imagine something new and exciting. What if we could talk face-to-face using computers? Could the internet make distance disappear? Could a screen feel like a real human connection? These questions were starting to shape the future, and very soon, this idea would turn into something real that changed communication forever. The birth of Skype. Skype was created in 2003 by Niklas Zennström and Jonas Friis, along with a team of developers from Estonia. Their goal was very simple: make internet calling easy, fast, and affordable for everyone. At that time, international phone calls were expensive, and many people could not afford to stay connected with family or friends in other countries. Skype changed that by introducing VoIP voice over Internet Protocol. In simple words, it allowed people to make calls using the internet instead of traditional phone lines. In its early days, Skype also used a peer-to-peer system. This meant there were no heavy central servers and users connected directly to each other. It helped reduce costs and made global communication easier and more accessible. Because of this, people could suddenly talk to anyone in the world for very low cost or even free. For many users, it truly felt like a communication revolution. Why Skype became so popular so fast? Skype didn't become popular because it was complex. It became popular because it was simple and easy to use. With just a few clicks, people could make voice calls, send messages, call real phone numbers, and later even do video calls. Everything felt smooth and beginner-friendly. It also worked on most computers without needing powerful hardware, which made it available to a wide range of users. At a time when many apps were still confusing, Skype felt clean, friendly, and easy to understand. Another big reason for its success was that it was lightweight compared to other software. It didn't slow down computers or take much space. Because of this, Skype became a perfect tool for home users, students, and even small businesses who just wanted a simple way to stay connected with others. The rise of video calling culture. In the mid-2000s, internet speeds started getting better and online communication began to change quickly. Webcams became cheaper, and many laptops started coming with built-in cameras. This created a new culture where talking face-to-face online slowly became normal. Skype played a big role in making this possible and bringing it into everyday life. Video calling started to appear in homes, offices, schools, and even in movies and pop culture. It was no longer something strange or rare, it was becoming part of daily communication. For many young people, Skype was their first experience of seeing someone live on a screen while talking to them in real time. It felt exciting, new, and almost futuristic. People were no longer just typing or calling, they were finally seeing each other, no matter how far apart they were in the world. The growth peak, by around 2010, Skype had grown into one of the biggest communication platforms in the world. It had hundreds of millions of user accounts, with reports suggesting over 500 million at its peak period. The app was widely recognized across the globe and used for both personal conversations and business communication. People relied on it to stay connected with family, friends, and coworkers in different countries. At this point, Skype was no longer just an app. It had become a communication standard that many people depended on every day. In fact, the name became so popular that people even used it as a verb, "I will Skype you later." When a brand becomes part of everyday language, it shows just how powerful it once was in shaping digital communication. The first big change, in 2005, eBay bought Skype for around $2.6 to $2.7 billion. At that time, eBay believed Skype could help buyers and sellers communicate more easily. The idea was to let people video chat with sellers, ask questions in real time, and build more trust in online shopping. However, this plan did not work out as expected. Skype continued to be mainly used as a communication app, not a shopping tool. Later, eBay sold most of its shares, and Skype changed ownership again. Microsoft enters the picture. In 2011, Microsoft bought Skype for about $8.5 billion, making it one of the company's biggest purchases at the time. Their goal was clear: replace older tools like Windows Live Messenger and build a stronger communication system for the future. At first, everything looked positive. Skype was added into Windows and improved in several ways, reaching more users around the world. But over time, small problems started to appear, slowly changing how the app felt and worked. The big shift in technology, around 2011 to 2012, the tech world changed quickly. Two major shifts happened. 1. Design change. Old software used realistic designs with buttons that looked like real objects. Later, design shifted to flat, simple styles with clean colors and minimal layouts, making apps easier for mobile users. 2. Mobile revolution. People began using smartphones, tablets, and mobile internet everywhere, forcing apps to work across many devices and changing everything. Skype becomes heavier and less simple. After Microsoft made changes, Skype slowly became more complex. What was once a light and fast program started to feel slower, heavier, and more complicated to use. At the same time, Skype was bundled with Windows updates, so many users got it automatically. On some systems, it even opened in full screen mode, which annoyed people. The simple feel of Skype slowly disappeared over time. The hidden problem: Skype's early success depended on peer-to-peer technology, which worked well in the early internet days. But this system had limits. It worked best when computers were always online, stable, and using wired connections. Over time, the way people used the internet changed. More users switched to smartphones, moved between different Wi-Fi networks, and relied on battery-powered devices. This made peer-to-peer connections less stable. Because of this, users sometimes faced dropped calls, uneven audio or video quality, and more system bugs. In 2011, a major network issue also affected large parts of Skype's service. It showed that the old system was struggling to keep up with the modern internet world. Microsoft moves to centralized systems. To solve these issues, Microsoft gradually shifted Skype from its original peer-to-peer system to centralized cloud servers. This change made connections more stable and easier to manage, especially for mobile users. However, it also brought new concerns like heavier server reliance, occasional performance drops, update bugs, and privacy worries for some users. Over time, many people felt that the simple, fast Skype they once knew was no longer the same. The rise of new competitors: while Skype was slowly changing, new apps began to take its place. Discord, launched in 2015, became popular for gaming communities, group chats, organized servers, and smooth, low-latency voice calls, making it feel modern and flexible. Later, Zoom grew rapidly in the late 2010s and exploded in 2020 because it was simple to join with a link, didn't always need an account, supported large meetings, and delivered stable, high-quality video calls. The pandemic, the final turning point. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic changed how people lived and worked. Schools moved online, offices shifted to remote work, and meetings became fully digital. Everyone needed video calling apps. Zoom quickly became the most popular because it was simple and reliable. Microsoft Teams also grew strongly in business use. Skype, once a leader, struggled to keep up and slowly lost its top position, even though it was still being used. Why Skype lost its identity? Skype faced a major identity problem. It tried to be many things at once: a casual chatting app, a business tool, and a full communication platform. But in doing so, it lost its clear purpose. Meanwhile, Zoom focused on meetings, Discord on communities, and Teams on workplaces. Each competitor had a strong identity, while Skype became less focused and harder to define. Microsoft moves on. Eventually, Microsoft changed direction and focused on Microsoft Teams as its main communication tool. Teams became the future, while Skype slowly lost importance inside Microsoft's ecosystem. The final result, over time, Skype faded away as users switched to faster, simpler apps, and it was no longer the first choice for video calls. What we learned from Skype's story. Skype's story is not just about failure, but about change and evolution. It teaches that being first is not enough. Technology must grow with users, and simplicity matters. Skype helped shape modern communication, and without it, tools like Zoom and Discord might not have developed in the same way. Final thoughts. Skype was once a strong symbol of connection in the digital world. It helped people talk across countries, screens, and time zones at a time when this still felt new and exciting. But as technology moved forward, Skype could not stay in the same place. New apps became faster, simpler, and more built for modern life. Skype did not disappear because it was useless. It faded because the world around it moved faster than it did. Other platforms adapted better to new habits, and Skype slowly lost its place. And that leaves us with an important question. What happens when even a giant can't keep up with change? Is it the end of the product or just the start of something new? If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video and subscribe to Collapse Files for more real stories from the digital world.